Hey, sweethearts, it's Rowan again, and it is that time of the week, but I'm not doing it in the morning, fresh, awake, and all that. I am doing it, let's see, it's going on 10 after 9, maybe about 5 after. I set my watch a little bit fast so that I'm not late for the bus. Okay. I know it doesn't really matter if it says the days of the week on them. In fact, like I've had these so long that the actual day names are mostly rubbed off, but still, it's like a habit. I gotta be as close to that. Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, the cats. Actually, I think no, I think I did this. I knocked them off the coffee table, my pill pods, and when that happened, um, they pretty much like all. I mean, at least all the pills didn't go everywhere, but the pods did. The pods just went flying, and pods everywhere. Hello, Nigel. We've got Nigel. Hello. So I'm sitting this thing today on top of. Will this turn around for me? On top of this thing. So this is where I keep all of. That's where I keep my jobbies. Um, my shit. Word, it's on me. The my oh wait, no, that's here. Okay, so this ended up here for some reason. Oh, that's right, because I was darning socks the other day and I didn't put it back in. But at least I know where it's at. So this is where I've got my my darning cotton, the or crochet thread. They call it both. Yeah, I've seen it listed as both. It's used for the same purposes. It's both used for the same things, basically. So I've got my darning thread and my crochet hooks in there, and oh, that's right, tramadol's in the jacket. So I don't remember if I mentioned this last week. So the I went back to the cyclobenzaprine as my muscle relaxer because the carsoprodol, which I was on, my primary doctor who takes care of my pain meds, she does not like prescribing that. In fact, when I first went on that, oh, I forgot to pop this one. When I first went on that, it was a couple years ago because I had been on the cyclobenzaprine for a while. And what did that do? After, like, I want to say about 4 or 5 years, it stopped feeling effective. And I know my allergist said that if your allergy meds ever stop feeling effective, just switch to another one and stick with that until it stops feeling effective, then go back to another one, and you can just cycle them like that. So I was thinking it was the same thing, that it stopped feeling effective, so I told my doctor that it stopped feeling effective, and she prescribed me another one, and I forget the name of it. I forget any kind of name of it. It might be in my med records somehow, because she did give me a prescription for it. Shut up, phone. So she did give me a prescription for it, but like I said, I couldn't fill it. I mean, that they did technically fill it, but I couldn't pick it up and take it home because the copay was $80, which I cannot afford. And speaking of things which I cannot afford, so yeah, well, I went on the carsoprodol for a couple of years, and then my primary, she really did not want to renew my prescription for that again. Like, she's like, I know you only refill it like, 2, maybe 3 times a year. But I mean, shit, the last time I refilled that one was in May, I believe. But she's like, I'd really like to switch to something else. And I'm like, okay, I can go back to the cyclobenzaprine, just not that third one, unless you know for a fact that it's going to be covered, because I can't afford an $80 copay. And if, I can't afford to pick it up and take it home with me, then it can't do me any good because I can't afford to take it, right? So we went back to the cyclobenzaprine, and that seems to be being effective again, because it's been a couple years I've been off, so I guess we're just going to try the cycle of things. Okay, let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, I can go another week with this. But yeah, I'd mentioned things I cannot afford. And I mentioned that for a good reason. Because I do have a GoFundMe that I just started up yesterday, I believe. And I know this is live right now, so I cannot add the link right away, but I will put it in the comments after this archives for anybody who watches this later. Okay, I've got a couple more things of these. Actually, I'm going to consolidate these into a new one, because this broke it up into 3, of the name brand things for me. I'm like, why do they do that? Like, can't they just... What the fuck is that shit about? So then what happened? I did start a GoFundMe about something that I cannot afford, and this is something that needs to be taken care of. In fact, I'm actually, really surprised that I can drink a soda. Okay, the ice just now melted, but there was ice in that. And, until, a minute ago, literally. Well, get back to her. So, then what happened? So, yesterday, I went to the... What the hell? Oh, it's on all of them. What the shit? How did I not notice that until just now? So then what happened? So yesterday, I went to the dental school. And this is going to be... I'm... Okay. Because Walgreens is telling me that I need to refill this one, and I'm like, I thought I was good on it, but... Okay, so, back to my story. So yesterday, I went to the dental school at University of Michigan, not because I'm a student, that's silly. Actually, that is silly. I cannot afford any kind of student debt. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I went to the dental school yesterday, and then what happened? Well, what happened before that, I made an appointment on Friday. So yesterday was Thursday. And so Wednesday, I called, just before they were closing their desks for the day. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm going another week here before I need to refill. Okay, so I called and I made a emergency-ish appointment for yesterday at... When did I get out there? I got out there at 2:30, even though my appointment was for 2:15, and they want you to come at 2 to fill out paperwork because it's been a couple years since I've been there. And the reason it's been a couple years since I've been there is because of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And the reason it's been a couple years since I've been there is because, here's the fun thing. Okay, so, then what happened? A couple years ago, my primary income is Social Security disability, and I do this with dinner, right? Social Security disability, and that is supplemented with Social Security survivors benefits, which I started getting after my mother died. I want to say she died in 2014. At least that's what the obit I looked up said. Because I got a call out of the blue from some guy one day, and he was saying, the caller ID was an Ohio caller ID, so I was like, I don't even know if I can, it could have been, it's so, touch and go whether or not you can look up somebody's number on a caller ID. So I'm like, okay, well, let me just see if his story checks out. If it does, it could have even been an office number, but an unlisted office number, so I didn't check, I didn't reverse check the number for an ID, but I did look up his story that he was telling me. He was like, oh, your mother died and you are due survivor's benefits. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, the name checks out, the birth date checks out. If she did indeed die, let me check this here on the internet real quick. Oh, yeah, apparently so. So yeah, this all checks out, and so yeah, I get survivor's benefits as a disabled adult, um, offspring of somebody who did not collect Social Security because I guess she was working up until like maybe her last month or so. I don't know. Didn't say what she died from. I think it was COPD. That would make sense considering how much she smoked. What was I doing this? Was I doing this? I think I was doing this with lunch. So then what happened? So, on the good side, that means because both of my parents have now passed and I get survivor's benefits, mostly from my mother because my father himself was disabled. So, he had a head injury when I was about 8. Excuse me. And it damaged about a third of his brain. Oh, hello! So, what was I saying? So yeah, my mother died, and oh, right, I only took 1 dose this week. So yeah, my primary income is Social Security, disability, plus survivor's benefits. On the good side, that means I can now afford to live by myself. And I'm upping the St. John's wort to twice a day now because it is winter and my seasonal depression starts to kick in. And in fact, it is snowing today. I sent my friend Willow out in the snow. She was hanging out for a little bit. But where was I saying? Oh yeah, yesterday the thing with the dentist. So then what happened? On the good side, I can afford to live by myself. On the downside, 2 years ago, so after she died, but you know they've got that cost of living increase annually with Social Security, which makes perfect sense. But things that do not make sense is, oh, that's right. I'm seeing her on Tuesday, so I should have enough of this. Okay, so. With my cost of living increase 2 years ago, so 2016, my cost of living increase went up exactly it went up exactly $3, which made me $1, which means I now make $1 too much a year to qualify for what's it called? Medicaid as a low income person. So I do have Medicare. Since I know at least one of you tuned in right now is in Germany, here's the thing with Medicaid and Medicare. If you know enough Americans who talk about this, Medicare is a federal health plan, basically. It's like federal health insurance. It's available to the elderly and the disabled. I qualify as a disabled person. And that takes care of most stuff. Medicaid, on the other hand, so Medicare is federal, Medicaid is state, and Medicaid fills in and like takes care of a lot of things that Medicare does not automatically cover, which includes dental. Now, I do have something in my Medicaid reinstated, but it's not completely instated. So I do not have dental coverage right now. And I found this out the hard way. Like I went in for an appointment at the dental school, an appointment that I'd had for 6 months. And then they tell me, oh, by the way, you don't have Medicaid coverage. So can you pay, what was it? Like something like $200 out of pocket for just, your routine cleaning? Or are you, gonna cancel? And so I just canceled. Oh, right. Oh, what the hell? So I canceled. But I got a bill. Where did it go? It was here. It was right here. Oh, it's here. Okay. So, oh no, that's the electric bill. This is okay. Okay, I've got no info here. No personal info anyway. So. Okay, I can show off this part. So this is something that I got from my therapist. So I do have a small copay with my therapist. It's about $10 a session that the copay is. But see, I got this, and it says Medicare Michigan. I don't know if you can read that. So it says Medicare Michigan and then Medicare adjustment. And the Medicare Michigan, that is a relatively small thing, that they deducted. And the Medicare adjustment is, so let's see, we've got $110 for the Medicare adjustment and then $79 from the Medicare Michigan. So I'm left with $20.18 from 2 sessions in, let's see, this bill covers, I think it's the September appointments I had. I cannot find that here. Whatever. I think it's the September appointments because the bill is dated October 18th. And why it didn't get to me until just about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, I don't know. But so yeah, I've got Medicare adjustment on that, and then Medicare Michigan. But Medicare Michigan is not a thing that exists. So I was thinking, okay, something weird happened with like maybe they just put this on funny with the billing company, because the billing company goes through somebody else. Like, yeah, I don't know what they call this billing. I don't know what this billing company is, but it's a billing service that she uses. She told me the name of it. I forget it, but so it looks like it's just her therapist office name is on here. Yeah, Transitions of Ann Arbor Counseling. So, so seeing the Medicare Michigan, that made me think, okay, maybe I've got my Medicaid back instated, at least like, to a larger degree than it was. So, and then exactly 2 days later, now keep in mind, 2 days before this. Oh yeah, I did get this. Wait, this doesn't have a date on it. Why doesn't this have a date on it? I got it in the mail. Okay, whatever. Okay, so I got this at least a week ago. I got this either shortly before or shortly after the first of the month. And I remember that because I opened it when I got home, and it's after I got home after, so let's see, I went to, oh right, it's the one that I got, so I got an ice chest, an antique ice chest from the thrift shop. That's a gorgeous ice chest. It's not a proper ice box. I want an ice box for my balcony, just so, so I don't have to pay to run a mini fridge. I've got a couple neighbors who have a mini fridge on their balcony just because, right? That's where they put their beers and shit. But yeah, so I've got the ice chest, which is basically a cooler, right? So I've got an ice chest from there. And then, like, the very next day, I went and I got this antique lamp after I confirmed, I don't know, I confirmed something with my budget. But, yeah, no, fuck you. I'm not wearing a shirt. Okay, so, so I got I got another antique lamp. So like this one, well, similar. It's another floor lamp. So right after I got this, and I got this from a thrift shop, so that's like, that's an all sales final thing. So that's an all sales final. 2 days later, I break a tooth. Like I've got a huge chip in one of my molars. And so then what happened? Okay, so the huge chip in my molar, that is something, one of the dental no, it wasn't a student, it was a proper dentist. So at the dental school, you go through and you see like 5 different people there because it's a teaching thing, right? So I went to the dental school. I saw the first dentist I saw, she was hoping we can get by with a filling on this, but honestly, right now, I'm not incredibly hopeful about that because one of the other dentists, and plus I think the student, no, it wasn't the student I talked to, it was the billing person I talked to. And I'm getting to this. This is all coming around full circle. Okay, so the billing person I talked to, she was saying that she was pretty sure it's going to need a crown because, I mean, you could even see this. And then what happened? So, so basically, I found out as I'm getting checked out that I do not have my I do not have the Medicaid coverage that I need for this, and I don't care if I'm freaking you out. You do that. So I don't have the Medicaid coverage that I need to cover dental. So I am going to be making a short video about how I need some coverage. Well, I'm basically begging now. Before I get to the able to comment in the when I get call sometime next week, because it's a dental school, so it's students. It's like when they get to it, but they got to do it in order. So next week I'm gonna get a call from a student to set up an appointment for an exam. So the X-rays were $90. I have after let's see, I'm gonna send out I need to send out the electric bill. I need to send that out next week. Because this is already a month arrears, which is like just as far as I can take it before they start sending me shut-off notices. On the good side, this is only about $65, and next month it's going to be $45. I'm going to sit on this for another month, which is the therapist bill. So I'm probably going to end up a month arrears on the therapist bill, but whatever. That'll keep me just so like after this goes through. So like the month arrears on the electric, after that goes through, when I send that out next week, because my Comcast just went through, my Sprint just went through, the $25 a month that I'm paying up until March on my I've got a veterinary bill from the Humane Society when my other cat, Mr. Midnight, he died he died March of 2017. His kidneys failed. He just had sudden kidney failure. So yeah, I've been paying $25 a month to the Humane Society pretty much since he died. So, and I'm going to be paying it for, pretty much until 2 years after he died, Hi. I need to take his tail away until he can use it responsibly. Right, kitty? Right. So, let's see. That just went through. I don't pay for Netflix or Hulu. I have a profile on a friend's account. But my CBS All Access, which is only about $6, that just went through. My Microsoft OneDrive, that's $11 a month. Well, it's like $10.60 or so after tax. So that's about $11. That's going to go through next week. My Artfire shop fees, that's going to go through next week too. So after all my bills go through, I have exactly $18 in my checking account. So I pretty much am at a point where I can't spend anything. I have about 25 in savings. But because the infestation that my most recent ex brought into my apartment, that got into my viola case. So I would like to keep that 25 to put toward getting a new viola case, hopefully next month. Yeah, so like pretty much all of my fun money went right away when I saw another antique lamp at the thrift shop. On the good side, the case I'm looking at, which is like the minimum I can get away with, as far as quality goes and everything for my viola, that is going to be, let's see, about a little under $80 after tax. So like 25, it's like I'm barely a quarter of the way there. Cat, really? Seriously? Okay. So let's see. Okay, the X-rays were $90. They are basically going to give me a bill for that later. I was not forced to pay that right away, though they would have preferred I did. The exam that I'm going to get an appointment for next week, so pretty much like as soon as the soonest opening, the exam where they're going to evaluate how to take care of this tooth, that's going to be about $50. So we're looking at $140, $150 after GoFundMe fees. So that's where my GoFundMe currently is at about my emergency dental work. If I need a crown, which I'm really afraid I will. If I need a crown, that's going to be another $580, which I definitely do not have. And they really want me to pay a minimum 2/3 of that right up front, like before they even wheel me into the back to do it. So that would be, let's see, 2/3 of 580. So let's round that up to 600. So let's round that up to 600. So 2/3 of 600 would be about 400. So I'm going to need a minimum of $400 to get the crown in, if it goes there. Well, I'm afraid it's going to go there. So, yeah, that's what you're going to be seeing from me this coming week. I'm going to keep it as close to 5 minutes as possible about this dental thing. So, if I make a video about it, I'm just going to put the GoFundMe in the comments, and I'll see if I can script out a GoFundMe video for, that's like 5 minutes or less. If not, I'm just going to spam the links in the comments for the rest of my life, apparently. On the good side, the chip in my molar is, it's about as bad as that time. So I'm sensitive to cold, not so much to hot. And the sensitivity level, it's close to that time that I had a filling come loose. So I did have a filling come loose that had to be done again. It didn't come completely out, but it was loose. So that's about where the pain level is on this when it's sensitive to cold. So it's not terrible. It's not anything I can't live with for a few weeks or so. That's all right. Oh dear. You need you need a shirt, buy some Fortnite merch. No. Oh dear. What is this person doing? For you being able to live and support yourself, man. Just keep going. How you doing, bro? What? Oh dear. What are these people talking about? Oh, okay. Oh dear. Okay, so yeah, I am yeah, I'm not looking forward to this dental work, but if I don't take care of this, it's going to get worse. I've kind of gotten myself off of sodas. I think I've had maybe I'll go up to the corner shop every other week or so and get a big 2-liter of Faygo just when I'm having a sweet tooth, because it's $1. Okay, it's like $1.30. Well, $1.40 after the deposit. But, still, it's I'm barely drinking soda now. The only reason I got this is because the reason that I have 25 in savings and not 40 is because a friend of mine had an emergency. She had a day that needed a White Castle, so I treated her to White Castle, no problem. Took out of my savings. I'm like, you know what? This is for a friend. I can justify it. It's a White Castle emergency. So I think that's where I'm at now. Okay. I've sorted all my meds for the next 6 days, and yeah. Hopefully I might be able to put together a 5-minute-ish pitch video for my GoFundMe for my dental work. And then what happens is kitty. Other than that, like I said, and this all just came up literally 2 days after I spent all of my fun money for the month. It was at the thrift shop. I got the antique ice chest that was $16. The floor lamp was $50. The floor lamp doesn't have a shade on it like this one does, but I found an extra small skirt that has a crocheted lace overlay on it. So I'm going to take that out, get some I forget what it's called, but it's basically kind of like a heavy-duty felt that they use for lampshades and stuff. Sometimes you use it to make the core of a hat. I'm gonna get some of that. Some of that's a little bit more translucent, and I'm gonna be making a lampshade with just like a $2 skirt that I got from the thrift shop, plus some stuff from Joanne or whatever. And they have free wire hangers at the thrift shop too, so I got those. So I'm gonna make a nice little lampshade out of that. Oh, one last thing before I go is I got. Where did my box cutter go? There it is. Okay, so I have been waiting to find some. This is also where the rest of my fun money went. So I usually have in the area of about $150 after all the bills are taken care of, that I can just do whatever I want with, and that's including like food for the cats. So the cats are fed for the month. The cats are fed for the rest of the month. I might have to, like, I don't know, if I run out of wet food, I can easily, like, go to, what's it called, Kroger, when my food stamps renew on the 19th and get, like, a big tin of, like, salmon or tuna. Actually, the tuna. The tuna is cheaper, and I can't have tinned tuna because the broth that they put it in is made with soybeans. So yeah, like, I can get by with the cats' tinned food. They've got plenty enough kibble. They should anyway. If not, that's what Reddit's for, right? Random acts of pet food. So, this, I want to talk about... You know what? I'm going to make a separate video about this, because this is really special. But, so, I guess that's it today. That is this week's Med Vlog. It's a little longer than usual. I had 4 people tuned in at max that I could see. I've read as many comments that I got as far as I can go back on those. I'm not going to wear a shirt if I don't want to. I understand this might weird some people out, especially as I've got a rather androgynous sort of voice. But no, I am male. My state ID says so. All of my doctors say so. My state ID and my passport, which is a legal federal document. So, yes, I am male. I can be as shirtless as I want. I don't care if it screws people. I don't care if it messes with people's heads, because, this is just me. I don't have to. I don't have to, and I don't want to. No, that does kind of go against my whole infatuation with vintage 1920s stuff, though, because I want to say it was until the mid-30s, until the mid-1930s, a man shirtless in public was considered indecent exposure. I bet you didn't know that, but yeah, it was. It was considered indecent exposure in most states. It was considered indecent exposure, yeah, in most states until the 1930s. And I think they started lifting those laws that would allow for a man to be shirtless in public. I want to say they started lifting those in the late 1920s. So yeah, like when you look up old bathing suits, like there's a reason that men's swimwear from, before the late 30s, it was all like, you had the full body, like you had the full like t-shirt length, top part and the bottom part. There was a reason for that. It's because men could not legally be topless in public at those times. So yeah, that's it for this week's Med Vlog. Longer than it usually is, because I had a lot to say, and I had a lot to say about the whole nonsense with the American healthcare bullshit. Right?
Right, kitty? Right, kitty? I gotta take your tail away until you know how to use it responsibly. Yes, I do. Gotta take it away. Take it away.
Okay. All right. See you next week. Well, do the live med vlog in about 6 days when I gotta refill my meds again. But this, I'm gonna make another quick video about this, but it's gonna be a separate thing because that's really special. All right, sweethearts, take care, and I love you, and bye-bye.